All right, Oklahoma. Jason, I guess that brings us to the possibilities, unfortunately. And we see this almost every year in college football in September because that is hurricane season. So those games that are scheduled along the East Coast, along the Gulf Coast, are sometimes in danger. And we have a hurricane that is headed toward the New Orleans area. I don't know where exactly it's targeted at this point, but this Sunday, and of course, Oklahoma slated to play Tulane next Saturday, 6 days later. There could be a number of decisions that need to be made depending on what facilities are like and roadways and everything else in the path of this storm.
Yeah, so Mark, we talked a little bit about this off camera, but just something I've been following. Though a couple of days ago, I heard that it was, it looked like it could be happening, and then it looks like maybe it's intensified a little bit over today, and I think there's more. I wouldn't say doom and gloom, but I think there's more thoughts that this could certainly have an impact, and yeah, I think it's supposed to go. I think Hurricane Ida, I believe, is the name, and I think it's supposed to hit landfall somewhere between Saturday night and Sunday morning. So I think one of the things I heard that I think Tulane and Oklahoma will both collectively make a decision at some point Sunday. I think one of the other things that I've heard that it looks like there could be another storm on top of it coming behind that, which is midweek, and maybe that's. Don't have a whole lot of details as far as that goes, but yeah, no, I mean, a couple of options that could certainly. This is something that no one wants to see. One option is just canceling the game altogether. Oklahoma has, I believe, in 2024, they have another game against Tulane, which is supposed to be in Norman. They certainly could do that. They could make that switch and have 2024 have the return trip to New Orleans, and certainly could move the game to Norman if they would like to do that. But yeah, something to keep an eye on. Probably, I would assume with travel and flights and logistical type things, I think we would have an idea of what that looks like. Sunday night, early Monday morning for next week.
And it's certainly not unprecedented for a big-time college football program to only play an 11-game schedule here. Talking recently, of course, there were 11-game schedules back in the 70s and 80s. But I know Miami played an 11-game schedule just a couple of years ago. They missed a game due to hurricane conditions. A UCF Georgia Tech game got canceled, never made up. LSU and Florida. LSU was an interesting case. 2 consecutive years, I believe. 1 year, they just missed the game. It was a non-conference game that they just canceled, so they played an 11-game season. The next year was the week of the Florida game that there was a threatening hurricane, and because of it being a conference game that needed to be played, they actually just switched the location, and LSU and Florida had very unbalanced schedules that year because they picked up an extra road game because LSU had to move to Florida to play the game, to play an extra road game. So they actually played 3 home games and 5 road games in the SEC that year, and then they just repaid it the next year. So they played an unbalanced schedule the next year as well. So hopefully we do see Tulane and Oklahoma get together when they're supposed to, and if not, maybe possibly play that game in Norman this year. And the return trip, as Jason says, is in 2024.